I don't even know what we're doing.
On this episode of Tales of the Table, is our podcast housing a fugitive? So, Bowen, public service announcement first. Bowen is not Brian Laundrie. He doesn't really look like him that much, but he looks like somebody who looks like him. Like when they show these pictures of people getting harassed for like looking like him, those people look like Bowen. But Bowen doesn't look like that guy.
So he's like a third stringer.
He's like the Kevin
I think my beard's better than Brian's.
Like the 6 degrees of Kevin Bacon, like Bowen's 2 degrees away.
Oh, okay.
I was at the gym the other day, and there's this group of girls, and they kept looking at me. And I had my confidence all up, right? All my confidence way up, right? The whole time I'm working out, I was feeling good about myself. And then on the way home, I remembered that everybody thinks I look like Brian Laundrie, and I was like, and it just ruined the rest of my night. I was like, they were probably like, you see that guy over there?
I knew once you started with that really high, like you was like, these girls were looking at me in the gym. I knew this story wasn't going to end with a high note. Like you were definitely going.
And it maybe was, but I don't think it was because it wasn't like a checking me out. It was more like a, don't you think that guy looks like?
Oh yeah, 100% now.
It seemed like a Brian Laundrie kind of thing, and it ruined my night. I realized it. I mean, I was high on my high horse.
If you're
driving
coming
home, and then I was like, oh man.
Put on your little crazy hat here.
I don't know if you came here for us to like console you to make you feel better, but we're definitely getting on they're talking about you being the laundry guy, not good looking guy at the gym.
Everybody thinks that. I want a shirt. I thought it would be funny, but I feel like he's gonna get caught soon. But like a shirt that says "I'm not Brian Laundrie," and just I could sell it to a bunch of bald white guys with beards.
I don't even really know what he looks like, so I'm just gonna ride with this train of just talking about this. Like
he looks like if you see Bowen from really far away. That's what he looks like.
Is that what he looks like? Okay, so he is bald though.
He's bald. He has a beard. He's a white guy. It's just that's
check. Okay, all right.
That's really the only semblance between him and Bowen. So like from the side, from far away, maybe. But have you seen the conspiracy theories, Boone? I'm pretty sure you have.
Yeah, you sent you sent me the TikTok. That was pretty cool.
Yeah. So for those of you who haven't seen it, there's this conspiracy theory that he's hiding in an underground bunker in his parents' backyard. And this conspiracy theory exists because this guy flew a drone over their backyard, and they think they see his mom shaking or like handing a hand that's in the garden dirt something. And then someone else looked up like common underground bunkers in Florida, and their backyard is laid out exactly like the most common one. So we don't really want to get too much into that because it's an ongoing investigation. I like to say Bowen, Dog the Bounty Hunter, is on the case, so he was. He hurt his ankle. He's not there anymore.
I heard he's back there.
He hurt his ankle, sprained an ankle.
But
that sounds like me.
We wanted to clear the air for those of you who watch us on YouTube. Bowen is not a fugitive.
I mean, I'd like to get into it a little bit.
For that reason.
I mean, I'd like to get into it a little bit. I mean, we literally flirt with conspiracy theories all day, and you're just gonna tent. I
had a conspiracy to go with it, and it has to do with Bowen's story at the gym. So we saw that Bowen's confidence was high.
Mm-hmm.
Bowen's confidence was growing at an exponential rate with those girls talking. So maybe he incepted the whole Brian Laundrie, the government did, into the whole nation's mind. To make those girls think he looks like her, to make Bowen think that they were talking about that, just to make Bowen less confident. That's
okay,
what I'm.
I could be on board. I mean, I could get on that train and take it to midnight train to Georgia. Like I could get on that train, but the only problem is, what's the government? Why would they need to put the bald people down more? Why would they need to just start pounding them in? I think they need to go after like these good-looking preppy kids.
Well, that's the thing.
Already bald. I mean, they don't need to go.
Its movement. Bald was having its movement. They're like, oh, he's bald, he's hot. Where it used to be like, he's bald. Now they're trying to get back to the he's bald.
Okay, so a little. I see what you're saying.
The other thing that was something else I want to put out there, just so we have all the weird things. They're just finding dead bodies everywhere when they're searching for this one guy. Like they're finding missing people in the woods that are dead. A bunch of them, like 5, 6, 7 people.
The latest thing I heard update today, which is very odd if it was true. This was just what I read, but it was that his parents went looking for him in a campground or whatever in Florida that they hadn't checked yet, and just happened to find remains of a body. And so that came out today, and it was on Twitter and stuff. But doesn't it seem odd to you that the parents went to go at a place that people hadn't checked yet and just happened to stumble across some body parts?
Yeah.
How often you stumble across body parts?
It is weird. The only thing that's like, I don't think we understand how big national parks are, and like you can't just search all of them. But yeah, they are like, because for example, like they're finding dead bodies everywhere of people that were missing while they're just searching for this one guy, because there's just a bunch of people go missing in national parks, which we might cover in another episode when we've done more research about all the people that go missing in national parks, which is also related to cave people and Wendigos.
All right, listen. So I'm gonna put in my 2 cents about this laundry situation and then the dirty laundry. Is that what we're titled on the episode? Dirty laundry.
I just don't think of the titles where you start recording.
Anyway, so Matthew, going off of when I say zero knowledge, I'm talking about maybe less than zero. Maybe I'm incompetent. I'm telling you right now, when I saw Matthew's TikTok, there was definitely something there. I mean, were we going to sit here and act like there was nothing that just magically came out of the ground? Like, I don't know if it's if she's picking up a rabbit or what she was doing, but there was something there. Okay, and
did you see it?
Oh yeah, I saw the video. I mean, and I saw that, and then the part that gets me wasn't even that. Like that. Let's say some fan out here wants to clickety clack and Photoshop something. I mean, or edit something. That's fine. You got me there. but
the logistics of that doesn't make any sense.
It doesn't make any sense. But listen,
here's reach a hand through dirt. What kind of bunker could you build?
I guess that is what I'm assuming, if I'm going that route, that they are true, is that they've modified their bunker to be able to where he does not have to come out. They can give it to him in that capacity. So that's what I'm assuming, but that's fine. That's not even like the big selling point. When Matthew this TikToker that Matthew showed me, Matthew's dumb TikToks, out of all the dumb ones, a couple hit. Okay, he hits a couple on the dartboard. Well, I watched this one, and it literally shows Matthew's right. Like, it's identical to what the standard bunker is. It's like they didn't even try to get creative. Like, that little white thing was exactly like the exact distance from the shed, right under the shed. Like, it was such, like, it makes sense. The only thing that it would have to be almost too much of a coincidence that he's in all this trouble and they have an underground bunker for him to live in. You know what I mean? Because clearly they didn't have time to build one during all of this, or the FBI would have caught on to that.
In the FBI. I read that early on when this first started happening. I think she's in the FBI.
That throws it in. FBI people are all conspiracy. She's got that bunker. It all makes sense now. It all makes sense. That makes sense for the garden thing. That makes sense for it all now. Okay, listen.
A lot of these
I'm not telling you what's going on, but I'm telling you something fishy's going on.
There's a lot of weird stuff going on. We can agree. So I think the most plausible theory was my idea, that it's all the government just incepting these ideas into our mind. And see, some things just don't make sense. Like, how would his hand be from the dirt and all the dirt not fall down through the bunker?
Maybe it's like a mud room. Like the bunker has like a mud room, like where it's supposed to get dirty.
Yeah, but it just has a hole big enough for a hand that all the dirt doesn't fall in.
All I'm saying, did you see the little thing that moved? That's all I'm saying.
I saw something move.
Maybe it's like, those things when like you have a baby that's born too small, like Matthew, and you stick your hands in those gloves.
Oh yeah.
Maybe it's like that. And it's in like a box with glass.
What's those things called?
Yes, I like how you threw in Matthew under the bus there. I don't know. Like, I don't know. I mean, I can't go too much into it, but the bunker thing really sells it, because what is that little white thing in the middle of their thing besides for an air vent? Now, why wouldn't you just give the food or whatever she's doing through the air vent? I don't know, but clearly she's an FBI. She's smart. She knows how to do the garden bed, baby incubating. She's got all that down. Okay.
Let me fact check this real quick. If his mom's in the FBI, because Bowen just threw that out there.
Yeah, he did just throw it out there, and I ran with it.
Some sort of government agency she's been involved with.
We definitely should do an episode about the parks, though, because like that was like Ted Bundy's big thing, was like going to parks and like stalking people.
Well, if you look at it makes sense, because if you look at a map of missing people and also look at a map of national parks that line up exactly, which makes sense because it's the wilderness and like you're not supposed to, like, we don't live there. People go missing all the time. But also, what if there's cave people underground stealing us?
Well, me and Boone used to go spelunking back in college.
Yeah, we was big skaplunkers.
But anyway, speaking of
I see
murderers.
nowhere.
I've got a
nowhere.
psychopathic trait for you guys.
I see nowhere that she's an FBI agent. It says they own a juice company.
Well, you see, the government's already feeding. They're feeding us ideas through Bowen. Through Bowen, they're feeding the idea of FBI.
I don't want to give any more evidence to support Matthew's theory, but I have had a pretty large. My confidence is up right now because I've been pretty strict about eating, going to the gym.
Oh no, man! You
and
shouldn't
I don't
have said
feel
that.
shorter
You
at all.
shouldn't
So
have
I
said
do
that.
think they're going. There's something
Oh,
else happening.
man.
I don't feel shorter at all.
You're gonna get arrested, and they're literally gonna think you're him. Like that's what's gonna happen now that you've said all this.
The height thing wasn't working anymore, so they had to go for something else. They had to
Yeah,
go.
well,
Well, they knew we figured out about it.
Yeah,
You
they,
can't
they,
just say
they knew we
you're
figured
feeling
it out.
confident.
So somehow we're all going to get accused of murder if we start getting too confident. That's why you don't go on diets, Boone. I mean, that's
Okay, Matthew, with
simple
this
as that.
juice
You
company
go on a
started in
diet, you get accused of
2017.
murder.
Matthew.
What was that?
The juice company started in 2017.
Boone, I did
Okay.
literally 10 seconds of research.
They could have done stuff before. I think she did.
Juice company. What's this juice company?
My hair is ugly. They own a juice bar. The parents do. Listen, not
Y'all
important.
know,
Like
y'all know-
like one of those like fitness juice bars, or just like a juice bar?
Is there a difference?
Well, one of
Y'all
them's
know
like
Dog
supposed to be
and
like all
Bounty Hunter's
protein and stuff like
is
that.
Dwayne Chapman.
Dwayne's cool name.
Bowen,
But
what was
it's
your
not spelled
psychopathic
cool.
trait?
It's not spelled cool. He spells it D-U-A-N-E.
Oh
Dwayne. That's like smoother though, like Dwayne.
no, but
Yeah, but
it's
it's not as
regular
cool.
Dwayne.
Okay, but I do have a psychopathic trait. This is more of a question, though, and I think it'll get a little bit heated because. I know
Whoa,
each other's
whoa,
opinions.
whoa! There you are with the quick transitions again, Bowen.
Yeah, we'll
It's
talk about
time for
murder.
Bowen's psychopathic traits.
Okay,
So you
I'm gonna
gotta have
stick
some-
with the transitions for. Up next, we got Bowen's psychopathic traits of the week. Let's go,
Don't have to
Bowen.
do it like anyway. I already brought it up. I do want to mention actually before I mentioned the psychopathic trait. I didn't realize how many napkin enthusiasts we had that listen to the show, and I just want to clear up a couple of things. Okay, I never said you were a psychopath if you use napkins. There was some confusion out there about that. Okay, and sure, I'll give you all this. Napkins have a purpose. There's a purpose that they serve. But when you're comparing napkins to paper towels head to head, paper towels are just
Okay, hold on. Stop right there. Let me freeze for a second. I gotta go put on my Sunday best. Get in the church choir. All right, preach. I'm ready. I'm ready for you to preach about what you're about to say.
No, I just wanted to clear up some air, right? Because a lot of people
Yes.
are like, I use napkins, I have napkins, I buy napkins. What's wrong with that? There's nothing wrong with it, but they're not as good. They're not as paper towels are a superior product.
No, I'll go a step further. I get mad when everybody buys napkins because, like, we already have paper towels. I don't need napkins. They do a worse job. Now, listen, if you're at a fast food restaurant, I'm sure it's annoying to tear off paper towels and put them in a bag. That's good for napkins. I'm sure if you're an old person, sorry, Mom, if you put napkins on the table, that's a cool thing. But, like, I don't have a kitchen table. I don't
think
care
it's cool
if
if you have like a
there's napkins there or not.
dispenser. Like if you have a napkin dispenser at home, then you're really living. Like
Yeah,
you're living large.
That's another exception. But every single instance that you would use a napkin, paper towel would be better. So
You're
I'm gonna
correct.
go. I'm gonna go a step further than Bowen and say, if you prefer napkins over paper towels, you're a psychopath.
Correct. I would get
if
definitely
you
on
prefer, if you
that. But
prefer
you've
it,
basically just confirmed that
yeah. I think your
your wife and your own mother are psychopaths now. You
Shut up,
just-
Karen.
I think Amber's been conditioned to buy napkins. I think we can.
What's that? What that has to do with like
It's
what's
psychology.
that? Yeah, psychology, classical conditioning. Yeah, look
Yeah.
at that.
That's what she's seen napkins for so long that she goes to the grocery store. She's like, I gotta get a big napkin. They're out here.
Paper towels are better.
Like the only time I ever feel like I could use a napkin is to blow my nose because I don't have any tissues, but I use toilet paper.
Did something change with your mic, Bowen? You got really
Yeah, you
quiet.
did something. You did something to your mic, buddy.
I don't think I did. Was it any louder?
It's very quiet.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah,
that's
now we
better.
can hear you.
Well, I was really close to the. Is this fine though?
Yeah,
Yeah.
if you turn your gain up, you should be able to get farther away.
Game.
This gain or this gain?
No, back down. a
That
little
gain?
bit.
This
Yeah.
gain?
Down.
Oh yeah.
This gain? Okay, so my
Yeah, but don't
psychopathic
breathe too
trait
much in the mic. I can literally hear
My
your heartbeat from
psychopathic-
here.
Turn it down a little
Trait.
bit.
is more of a question,
Okay.
and I
My
think
body
you're
is
gonna,
ready.
You're gonna get heated. I already know which sides you all are gonna take on this, but
Correct.
is not being uncomfortable in jeans. Like if I'm just wearing jeans and I don't even notice it, walking around, I can wear jeans, I don't really care. I'm comfortable. Does that make me a psychopath? Because listen, I know we've talked about this recently on a road trip, okay? McKinnon told me I broke the one rule when I wore jeans. And me and Boone, I was like, I don't mind jeans. I don't really care if I'm wearing them. I can go to sleep in jeans. I don't do it, but I could. I just don't find them so uncomfortable. And Boone was like, yeah, I don't either. I don't mind jeans either. But Matthew will buy fake
you might
pajama
think
pants
I
that
have a
look
strong
like
opinion on this,
pants,
but
jeans just to wear them to work.
let me
'Cause he
explain.
hates jeans so much.
Let me explain.
Matthew's naked 24/7. So
I do
just
not
let that be
have
known.
pants on currently. However, there's a direct correlation between how much I like jeans and how much I weigh. So, like
But
in
that's not, like,
college.
my mom's the same way. She's like, "You're wearing jeans. Are you not comfortable? You want to put some shorts on?"
So
I was
listen,
like, "Why are you worried about it?" No,
when I was
am.
in college, you know, 60 pounds lighter freshman year of college, jeans were great. I wore jeans all the time. They were comfortable, especially when you get a nice pair of jeans. You don't have to wash them. They just form to your legs. They're comfortable. But as soon as you get 10 pounds over that ideal jean weight, they're uncomfortable. You got big thighs. They're constrictive. Then the button starts digging into your stomach when you sit down. Like there's all these problems that you don't consider, Bowen, when jeans. So now I don't like jeans, but that's
No, I thought of that. But you're not the only one I've heard.
But I do. There is a
Talk
point in my
about it.
life. There's a certain weight that I hit where I like jeans. I'm not at it right now. I hope to be that again at some point in the future because jeans are cool.
Matthew, you can't do that. You're going to be labeled as a murderer. Don't do it. Don't do it.
Maybe I won't go on a diet, but I'll just work out more.
Like Matthew's like, hey guys, I just started a diet, and then we see he takes off his hat and he's bald now.
I don't know what happened. I had such thick hair.
I do. Look at my hair. I need a haircut.
Anyway,
Like,
I want to go ahead and make my statement about this because I think I got a hot take on this right here. So anyway, I would definitely agree, but not too long ago in my college career, Lawhorn, a friend of ours, told me, "Hey man, you should try out stretchy jeans." And I was like, "Man, I ain't gonna do that. Like I ain't
stretchy
got
jeans
that.
are where it's at.
And so then I was like, you know what? Lawhorn's always like doing backflips and like cartwheels in these jeans. I was like, I can't do that in these old fashioned jeans. So I was like, I went to the store. I mean, yeah, they were a pretty penny, and I was broke as a joke in college, but I paid $40 for these jeans, put them on, life changing. I felt like a new man. I mean, I just like, I'm not even joking. In the dressing room, I did a little kick, just for fun, just to know like, dang, this is real now. Like I feel like I'm in leggings all the time. And so I'm running around doing all this stuff. So now it's up the game even more because used to I could go to sleep with some jeans, no big deal. Now they're so comfy. It's so beautiful. And just like you said, your mom will like say, you're not comfortable. McKenna, my wife, will tell me all the time. And I'm saying my wife because for the viewers, I know you guys know who she is. Anyway, I'll be sitting on the couch. She'll be like, take off your shoes. I'm like, listen, man. I was like, my shoes are just fine on. I was like, I'm living a good life right here. My shoes, they're comfortable. My feet are constricted in a comfortable amount. And if a murderer comes in this house right now, I'm ready. I'm ready to get into it.
Yeah.
So the end of story. But jeans are definitely comfortable material, especially if you got stretch ones. Last note, though, is what I want to say. I don't know if this is something that you just do when you're older, but I know you've done it, especially Matthew. I know Bowen's done it, but probably not as much as me, Matthew. Is maybe like after a hard day at the office or a hard day, like when we used to work at Penn Station, you got that button's digging into you. Shoot, I'll unbutton that button and I'll walk around like that. I'll just walk around like that, like just because it's just a little freeing, like you know what I mean? It's like nothing bad. It's a little just freeze it up there.
Well, I've done it, and I know Matthew's done it. Sitting down somewhere, like, and you are able to do it. You unbutton it.
Correct. Especially when I get home right after work, I'll just unbutton that top button.
Yeah.
And
Why do you guys pay so much attention to my buttons?
Maybe because you don't usually have them on.
Okay,
That's
I'm gonna rank like in my own home. No one's here. That's the one thing that's annoying because like when I'm home and no one's here, like except for my wife, I'm in my underwear all the time. The annoying thing is Amber FaceTimes her family constantly.
Oh my god!
And I'm
have they caught you? Have they caught you?
No, like sometimes I'll be on the couch, I don't have a shirt on, but I'll have a blanket on, and Annie, our niece, will be like, "Matthew's naked." So that's why, like, I have to like sneak around in the background when Amber's FaceTiming because like she's on the couch right there and I'm playing Xbox back here in my underwear. And like,
It's created a whole scene in my mind, and I'm enjoying it.
I do like the biggest thing with pants and jeans in general for me is just the temperature. Like I get hot. That's why I don't wear my shoes. Boone, that's a crazy thing. You wear your shoes inside. That's the first thing I do is take off my shoes. They're piping hot. But I will say I do on the stretchy jean topic. That's what I wear to work. Like I wear like golf pants, but they're khaki. And the reason I like khaki more than jeans is because back before we had back before when we went into the office, like on Fridays, like I would rather wear stretchy khakis and tennis shoes than jeans and tennis, and because like you can't really wear jeans and tennis shoes, then you're too casual. Then I would wear khakis and tennis shoes, and then it would be
stretchy khaki pants.
That's what I wear.
Shout
Shout out,
yeah, I got
Weldon,
some of those.
Mac Weldon travel pants. They're the best pants I've ever worn. I ripped mine.
Matthew does usually have some cool pants on, but anyway, moving on.
I
Do
don't
you have
know
any
that I
other
can picture
psychopathic?
Matthew in pants. I don't
Do you
know
have
that I
any
can
other
picture-
psychopathic traits?
No, but I have a Mandela effect,
Okay, hit us with that. Hit us with that.
and it's only happening.
Tired
to
of
me,
talking
and
about pants.
I think it's y'all. I don't. Anyway, I'll just introduce it. So, I've known Drew Brees for a long time, or I've been a fan of Drew Brees, I would say, for a while.
No,
I've seen his face
We are personal friends with Drew Brees on this
hundreds of
podcast.
times. You all have said that he looks like my dad a little bit, or my dad looks like him, like from the forehead up. Like, so I've seen his face a bunch of times.
Just his
Right?
forehead.
We're at the Purdue Illinois game, and they have the Drew Brees mascot. And one of you all, I think it was you, Boone, but I don't remember who it was, goes, "Oh, they even got the birthmark on the side of his face." And I was like, "Birthmark on the side of his face? What are they talking about?" And then I looked over, and there was a birthmark on the side of the mannequin's face. And I was like, "That's pretty noticeable." I was like, "Maybe it's just like that for the mannequin." And so I just forgot about it. Well, I was watching the Monday night game or Sunday night game, whichever one he does the pregame show for. And I was looking at him, and there it is, clear as day. There's a birthmark on the side of Drew Brees' face. And I was like, this is the first time. He's never had a birthmark on his face before, okay? And I am certain of that. So I don't know when I got here into this universe, why it's Drew Brees' birthmark, but I have never known, and I've seen his face hundreds of times, okay?
So
I would call myself a fan.
I'm pretty sure we've talked about the Mandela effect before. Like I'm on board. Some of them, like the Bernstein Bears, was always the Bernstein Bears. But Bowen, you're wrong on this. That's like a prominent thing they talk about every time they talk about Drew Brees. I can see.
That's why I'm going crazy.
I haven't. This is probably why you haven't. Like you probably picture him in his football helmet, and it's like covers it up. Like or it's like the other. They picture it like you picture the other side of his face. But he's had that birthmark for a while, and it's always a topic of a conversation. Is like what's on his face.
No, I'd never heard it mentioned before until one of you all said, "Ooh, they."
it was me. It was me. I remember us both looking at the same time. It's right after I beat you in that football bowling twice.
But you were trash at that. I just want to let that be out there.
Thank you.
were
Thank
garbage.
you.
I
Anyway,
was
the one
also
that gets
garbage.
me.
Hold on, I want to get this out there before someone else reports it. When that football came over to me, they like you guys dropped it, and I tried to pick it up 3 times. It slipped out of my hand 3 times, and then I tried to throw it, and it slipped in my hand, and I was just like, "Here, just have it, worker guy." And
That's great. That's great. The one that gets me though, the one that just triggers me, is that they are out here acting like Curious George didn't have a tail. I mean, I'm not even buying that crap. This is a monkey. He's got the tail, and then now they're trying to act like he never had no tail, and I'm not getting behind that. So that's the one that gets me right
Or
there.
Looney Tunes only has one O, or U.
No.
Yeah.
It's all a
I saw that
lie.
recently.
It's
No,
all.
but this Drew Brees thing is freaking me out because I had never heard it.
Boney's definitely all had a birthmark. I've known he's had a birthmark.
I knew you all. I was gonna say you all were gonna say this. I not one time, and we've talked about Drew Brees. I'm a fan. I go, hey, you know where that guy went to school? Purdue. Something I've said 100+ times. You know this. I have seen pictures of his full face because we would be like, hey, he looks like your dad. So I threw that in there as evidence to my. I've never noticed it, and I've got an archive of pictures. Okay.
I thought the
You know
Mandela
that.
effects works like as like a mass thing though. Like I didn't think it was like individually.
No,
It's supposed to
I
be.
think it is like. I think, but it's just this is what the Mandela effect. I'm saying is like I think I'm in a new reality. I never remember it being this way.
You're a new reality. Okay.
Yeah,
okay,
I don't know when I got here to this one. I don't know like what's
Maybe you
going
could
on, but-
backtrace and find when things aren't adding up. Maybe you could find out when it happened. Maybe it's
I
the
know,
day.
well, I might see if I
the
can,
day you
like-
went bald. Maybe in another world, another dimension, you got a full head of hair.
you're not a murderer.
Pete girls are looking at you in the gym for the right reason.
Right
I mean, all these things are possibilities, but here you are. Here you are. All right, what's next up on the
Gravy
thing
train?
that's not a docket? What's next up on the midnight
I'll do
train?
A good thing that I had this week. I got Chipotle again. Rare occurrence since there's not one in Frankfurt. I rarely want to drive 30 minutes to get dinner, 40 minutes if it's at Lexington traffic. But Amber got a tattoo on Friday. Within a block radius was a Chipotle. So walked to Chipotle, got some Chipotle. Their inside was closed. They didn't have any drinks, so that was a little bit downside. But drove back to Frankfurt, ate it, delicious.
Does Chipotle usually have a freestyle machine, or is that just Qdoba?
They don't have a freestyle machine. It's
Dang, I always like those freestyle machines.
Soda?
Yeah, like the freestyle machine, like where you can go up and it's like a bunch of options, like countless options.
I didn't know that you meant it first. I thought you just meant like having an open.
No,
Or
that's
you
what
could
they
pick
call it.
stuff
Anyway,
from
so
freestyle
I got a
machine.
next thing up right here. So it came to me the other day. I was scrolling Reddit, and then I thought to myself, wow, I had this thought, and I was like, that's a really random thought. That's a shower thought. So then I present it here for the audience. I try to present it as shower thoughts, and then Matthew cries. I mean, verbally cries out in pain that I was going to try to call it shower thoughts because he's like, that's something already known. So then I was like, you know what? I'll call it toilet thoughts because like everybody else, listen, you have thoughts in the shower, right? Well, do you have them on the toilet? No, you don't. You're usually catching up on NFL highlights, doing something on your phone, scrolling social media. So now, because of Matthew's crying ability, everyone now has to have toilet thoughts.
I have a better idea.
So anyway, I need to get to my toilet thought.
Hold on. Our podcast is called Tales of the Table. Why don't we just call it Table Thoughts?
No, when have you sat down at a table and had a thought?
That's every single time we ate at
They
the lunch
ca-
table.
Matthew,
No,
they
the
call
point
it
of
shower
shower
thoughts.
thoughts
It's
because
because
it
it's
occurs
like
when you're by yourself.
Mhm.
It's a thought that occurs when you're alone.
How about we call it Alone Thoughts?
So now, everyone who's listening, next time you have a random thought, run to the toilet and sit down. So because you're not allowed to have them in the shower. Matthew has stated it verbally. Anyway, so
I was saying we can't call our segment
Copyright
Shower
by
Thoughts
Reddit.
because that already is a thing. That's like saying let's call our podcast Ellen.
Not the same.
it's not the same. But I would be down to call our podcast Ellen so bad. Just one day, just change all our logos and everything and just say Ellen.
We're
I
Game
love
of
it.
Thrones. That's what we're called. Harry Potter.
I love how
Our
you just
word.
said Ellen. Out of all the cool things in the world, you said Ellen. Anyway, here's my shower thought, and hopefully some pop up to you. But this one's like for real, almost mind boggling, and it just popped in my head. So I thought to myself the other day, I was like driving my car, and then I was like, oh my. I was like, and then I thought of that island where people can't go. You know what I'm talking about? That island where people can't go, and that one, like they go every now and then. The little tribe kills them. Like what I'm talking about. You've
they're
heard
like
about.
people were trying to like convert them to Christianity.
Yeah, and I was like, there is an island out here that's literally never seen a car. One time. There are groups of people that have never even seen a photograph of a car. And I was like, not only a car, and then my mind starts racing. I'm like, they ain't even seen SpongeBob. I was like, they ain't even seen. I was like, my mind starts getting blown left and right. I go from cars to SpongeBob to all this stuff. I was like, that's crazy. Because then if you just really keep thinking about it, there's so much they don't know. So much
It
things
is
that we're
cra-
just
it is
used to.
crazy. I've heard of that island before, yeah. But you know what's the crazy part is? You know what they have seen, though? Like, the only thing that we've ever, I think, like that they've seen that we have is helicopters. Can you imagine an island of people that doesn't know anything? And all they've seen these big metal helicopters. Like, that's all they have seen. So it's like, I don't even know.
They probably have this, what do you call it when people are like they have like the earliest version of our podcast happening there. They're just like conspiracies, and they're like talking in their own language, just like talking about this flying object flies over us, and like
They're keeping a tracker since the last time, like, the giant metal objects. It's been
There's something related to that.
1,000 days.
Do you ever think like I think we talked about like the world's oldest people before, but like can you imagine like someone who's like 120 years old? They were born in 1900. Do we even have like they lived through us making cars, through wars, through like the technology, through space? That's
I
crazy
know
too.
the oldest lady alive because I was just listening to a podcast. They were talking about it. I think it was like the 20s when she was born. Yeah, or maybe 1900s. But she was like 42 when World War II ended.
like the big thing that also hit me when I thought of that, and I know that there's more places than just this little tribe. Of course, I'm aware that there are other places, but this place I don't have a lot of knowledge on it, but I know that they are still hunting and like fishing every day just to get their breakfast.
Yeah,
like,
they're
just
still
to get their lunch,
hunter-gatherer
just to
tribe
get their
everywhere, yeah.
like they can't. I know they're everywhere, but like I like this one specifically. I know that it's so like probably undeveloped in the way that we see things that I'm like, this is crazy out here.
I did have a shower thought, and Bowen sort of hinted at it earlier, and I didn't think about it to say it on here until just now. But I was thinking in my head, and I was like, when you're born, like say when you're born, you have a preset like amount of time to live. So say one of us we're born at the same time. We both have different preset amount of time to live. However, I was born 3 months early. Does that mean my preset time? So I was born, so I wasn't done developing yet. Do I have 3 months more to live than my predetermined outcome?
Look at here.
So I'm like,
here. Matthew's on to something.
If
you gonna
I-
write
so
a
say-
thesis about this?
Say I had 80 years to live from I was supposed to be born in March. Do I now have 80 years and 3 months to live?
You think
Now-
you're
That's
going to
interesting.
100?
No, I meant like from when I was born.
No.
That's a good shower thought. See,
I
that's
don't
what
know.
I'm telling you. That's what we call them.
It's
here.
a toilet thought, Boone.
shower thought, whatever it is. That one's a good one too. I really thought mine was gonna be great, but here Matthew is hitting me with something that's right out there. And I think we're supposed to have those like random thoughts where you're like, "Whoa, I didn't even realize that," or like, "Whoa, like." Does that make sense? Like you think about those. I know you get them all the time, but the problem is like we'll think about them for a second and then we'll completely forget them. That's exactly what like I did. Like I had to write this one down. I was like, okay, don't forget it. I forgot it like 5 times. I was like, I got to write it down this time.
Bowen has some good ones. Not like he doesn't have them as shower thoughts, but he says stuff to me, and then I start thinking. Like for example, we have these meetings at work with our entire company, like 100 people on the meeting, and they'll be like, "Do we have any questions?" It's a hypothetical. It's a what are the questions when they don't need an answer? It's a rhetorical question, and the same 3 people always take a turn. And Bowen messaged me sometimes. He's like, "What goes through their head to think that they should ask a question in this meeting?" And then I start thinking, what does go through their head? Like, and then I'm like, they think completely different than everybody else in this company. And then I get like freaked out. I'm like, so then I'm like, then it sort of starts getting like a panic attack. And I'm like, I'm not going to think about this anymore.
yeah, it's funny. Or like, there was this. We had a big meeting, almost like the same match you're talking about, a big meeting, and there was this person joined late, and not only did they join late, they unmuted themselves and asked like our boss's boss to repeat himself what he had already said
For the first
He was
15 minutes of the meeting,
trying
she's
so
like,
hard not to be like.
I just got here. Can you say what you said for the whole meeting,
I was
like, to
"Can't
me
you
only?
imagine?" I was like, I was having a panic attack, and I wasn't even the one doing it.
To go off some of these awkward things, I have an awkward one that definitely is funny. It happened last night. So I started that new class. I'm starting a new one every single week. Well, I start this new one, and my professor literally begins the class by saying, "Hey, we're going to watch this 5-minute YouTube video." All the 5-minute YouTube video was like this music video that she wanted us to watch. So then, you know how most professors are going to turn off their volume, and then you guys go watch it individually. Like they send a link. I don't know if this is how it worked to Matthew's like, and then you click on the link and you go watch it. Well, she keeps hers on and proceeds to have a full conversation with somebody. Like none of it was inappropriate or anything bad. She was just talking. And so we had to listen to it. Everybody in the class had to just listen to her have this full conversation while we're trying to listen to it. And she's talking about like her family or something. Well, then I was like, oh my gosh. I was like, I can't do this right here, man. And so I was like, and she's a little older. Well, then the next part hits even worse. So there's all the kids, like there's only 8 or 10 kids in this class. I keep calling them kids, grown adults. But anyway,
You're in class. Children.
We're in this class, and then so she's going down the names and like saying, "Oh, should I call you Josh? Should I, like how should I say your name? Tom? Is it Tommy or Tommy or Tom?" And then so like I said that was a little Easter egg there for everybody. So she gets down to this one whose girl's name is Shakara. And then I don't remember how to say her last name, but it was a very, very unique last name. And then the teacher does like probably the worst thing you could do. Just try to guess the race and ethnicity of that student. She's like, "Oh, so you're like from let me see like Indian or like Pakistani?" And then the worst response she could have gotten happened. "No, I'm white." She's like, "It's a family name." And I was like, was like, this can't be happening. This can't be happening right now. Like that, it doesn't even get more awkward than that because she's like over here trying to guess, trying to go harder, and it is a very unique name. And they just said, "No, I'm white. I'm Caucasian. It's a family name." And I was like, "Oh my gosh!" But that was my awkward event to link up with the ones that were people were asking questions at the end of conferences.
So, update. I forgot to mention this at the beginning. Boone was talking about class. I graduated, or I technically haven't graduated yet, but I'm done with class until forever. So, shout
How
out
come you ain't graduated?
Because it's like accelerated courses, so they're 8 weeks long. So the semester doesn't technically until December. So, but this has to do with you, Boone. My professor that I got you to do art for my presentation for, he said it was the best one he's ever seen, and he's going to use it. He asked me for permission to use it for the example for all his classes going forward.
Dang, okay.
So shout out, Boone.
Dang, okay, let's go.
Uh,
All right, so are we wrapped up here with all our segments so I can do the movie review?
Yeah, so next up, Boone's movie reviews, special Halloween edition.
All right. So I got to step away for a second.
I think it's Spooktober.
Time. I'm keeping all of this in. What's he doing?
I don't know. I think he's putting a mask on. Oh, he has
You're not watching.
He has a Michael Myers mask. I called it. Let's go. Go to YouTube. Check out YouTube to see this special Spooktober edition of our Boone's movie reviews.
All right. I won't be able to talk in this thing.
Yeah. It's funny though.
It was a good intro the way you just slid in there with the mask on.
I got worried though when I saw you didn't have a mouth hole. I was like, you guys talk like behind
No,
the
see,
door.
that's my lip right there. That's my lip right there.
Oh, there is.
Dude, this thing's super creepy. Like, I've been scaring people all the time in it.
Is it rubber?
Yeah, it's like a... Yeah, it's like a latex.
Okay.
And it's super tight. Like, super tight on my face. Anyway, so here's the reviews. Because basically we'll go over the first one because I didn't get to review Malignant. So I'll just do that one quick before we get into the nitty-gritty of the Halloween kills. So Malignant was this movie that we went in to see. It's James Wan, one of my favorite directors of all time, if not my favorite one of all time. He's done Aquaman, done The Conjurings, all those movies that people are very familiar with. Well, he made Malignant, so we went to go see it. We saw it at the Movie Tavern, which is a place where you can go watch, like, you can eat food and stuff and then watch the movie. So we go to sit down, and
What's
it's really Malignant. It's on, like, HBO Max now. And so basically, I'm not going to, no spoilers at all, because this movie, I mean, it just blew my mind. But anyway, first, if we're going to cut it into 4 quarters, the first 75%, like 3/4 of the movie, I'm talking about they're just mundane. There's nothing special. It's a normal old scary movie, like just kind of grim, building up this scary story. The story's new, but it just didn't do anything. Like, I'm not even joking. McKenna's sister fell asleep, and McKenna was starting to fall asleep, and I was like, man, he's really disappointing me. And then there is this turning point that I've never experienced in a movie theater up until this point, and it literally was like it went like I even drew a picture. Let me see if I can show you. See that mountain? See that flat
It's a
line?
blank sheet of paper is what I'm seeing.
But anyway, it's on my screen. It showed it. But anyway, so it's a flat line, and then it just goes whoosh, because it basically turns into like this horror movie, and then it turns into John Wick, basically. And I was like my mouth was on the ground. I had to pick it back up. Now, I was talking to Jack about it. I talked to Jack about a lot of my horror movies, and Jack's like, man, I didn't really love the movie. The movie was probably trash. I mean, the movie's probably not good at all. But that turning point was one of the most cinematic moments I've experienced in a movie theater, because I was like, the last 25% of this movie might be one of the best 25% of any movie ever. Like, it was so mind-boggling to me to experience. It was not a scary movie.
I'm going to say something that's going to upset you highly, Boone.
Okay, go ahead.
I knew that I probably wasn't going to be able to watch this movie because Amber doesn't like scary movies. I'm not going to make time to go watch it. So I read the summary on I read the plot on Wikipedia.
Mm-hmm.
The twist got me in the Wikipedia article. I was like, what?
There's a scene, dude, and I can't explain it. I just can't explain it.
Well,
You
I
would
mean,
have
it's
to,
like
and it's not scary,
forward-
Bowen.
Yeah.
It's almost just an action movie. So you could watch it, Bowen. I'm telling you, you could watch it at home. I'm telling you, the first 75% is boring, but you have to go through that boring to get to that peak, because once you get to that peak, like I'm talking about even Grace, like they look at each other. We all look at each other at the end, and we're like, "What in the world did we just watch? This is not." Anyway, I don't want to say great movie. It was disgusting. It was more than you could imagine disgusting. Anyway, but for horror suspense, I gave that one. I split it in half. I said the first half of the movie a 1.5 out of 5, garbage. The last half of the movie 5 out of 5, maybe a 6 out of 5. That's how intense it is. And so great movie. I don't want to say great movie. I don't know how to describe the movie. Just watch the movie. I do recommend it to people. All right, now we're going to get into Halloween Kills because it's Spooktober, my favorite time of year. Everybody knows this. Christmas comes second. Halloween is my time to shine. Me and McKenna, I think we've watched, like in 1 week, we watched 17 movies because we were on fall break and McKenna was like, had her sickness that she was going through. And so we were just watching. So we was watching all these scary movies. Well, Halloween Kills, I was real excited about. The first one was amazing. Everybody knows it was. And so we went into this one. So basically, the best thing I'm gonna say is that it had a very interesting, like, fresh story than all these other, like, typical horror movies had, but it was kind of like the drawing I made for this one was like a mountain, and then it gets low and then it gets high again. So like the beginning's really good, and then it kind of just like the middle's just okay, and then the ending's really good again. It's very good action, very good like horror suspense. It's more. I said it was more suspense than it did flirt with the horror. It's about basically Michael Myers. So in the first one, So the first one, they thought that they had burned him alive in the end of in their house at the end, like they were trying to kill him. Jamie Lee Curtis was trying to kill him. Laurie Strode, that's the character she plays. And then so the next one is he's coming back, but to not give any spoilers because I know you guys won't watch it, but I know the people listening might. Is that it's the first time I've seen a Halloween, like a scary movie, where like it's the killer versus like a lot of people. Like it's not like him just versing like I'm gonna kill this person behind a closet. I'm gonna kill like the typical stuff in the dark. Like I'm talking about he's in the street with like 40 people trying to kill him, and it's like super intense. One of the goriest movies I've ever seen, like on level with the Saws and everything like that. The way that he kills everybody, super intense movie.
So it's called Halloween Story?
Halloween Kills. No, it's called, the first one was Halloween, that's 2018. That's like, I'm talking about the remix. There's a bunch of other ones. Yeah, so there's 2018, and then there's this one. So the way I've described it now, and it's the way it's going to...
Another one coming out next year, right?
Halloween Ends, yeah. So the way and this is important for people to hear, is that a lot of these slasher movies now are like, you got Nightmare on Elm Street's talking about reboot, like Jason, like all these characters are coming out, like they're not horror anymore. It's almost like you're just going to go watch an action hero because they're not going to scare you. You already know who's there. You already know what they do. They're probably not going to scare you. So this movie, like, of course, anyone there, you're not really getting scared. You get suspense, like you feel like what's going to happen, but you're not really getting scared. There's no jump scares in the movie at all. There's no like them trying to jump out and scare you. It's all this like almost like they're trying to build dread. Now, of course, they don't do it as good as Hereditary and those other movies, but it's very dreadful. Like the way he's killing people is very awful. But the movie overall, I gave a 4 out of 5. It was really good.
Firemen or something? Firefighters?
Yeah, the beginning. That's what I told you. The beginning's like on a mountain peak of like, this is scary, like super intense, very beautifully shot movie, and then it goes like kind of flat lines there for a little bit, and then it peaks again at the very end. And the ending is, like I told you, like he's fighting like so many people, and he's going ham. Okay. But, yeah, so that's my movie reviews. Got a 4 out of 5 for Halloween Kills in the horror/suspense genre.
That's new. That just came out.
So, Boone, I saw a Twitter clip of it. I don't know if it's from this one or that one, but it was funny. There's like a girl has a gun on Michael Myers, and she's like shooting at him and missing a bunch. And then she walks up to the car, and he just kicks the door, and she shoots and hits herself in the face.
Oh, you talking about where he snaps her wrist and breaks it and she shoots herself?
Yeah,
that was intense. Yeah, that was right from this movie, yeah. But, no, it was definitely an intense movie. I mean, Bowen, it's very gory, so it's not in Bowen's alley at all. Matthew might catch it on a bored night after when there's no sports on. So that's basically, I already know my audience here. So
I want to quickly think I love horror movies, My wife does not, and I'm not like a big movie person, so like, I'm not gonna go out of my way to watch a movie by myself. The last time I did that, it was Hereditary, and I'm not doing that again. So
I will say I'm not a big TV guy, but you guys really have piqued my interest about Squid Games. I really do need to watch it, but it's horde
Game is
time,
good.
so until after October 31st, I can't watch Squid
That
Games.
was really good.
Because any free time I have,
I watch it. I wouldn't count out me ever not watching a certain Halloween movie. I'm not going to go watch it on my own. You're right, but a lot of people around me like it. So, and I mean, I'm with you all a lot. Yeah, I wouldn't count it out. But you're right, I'm not going to go seeking for it. I just don't need all that.
Yeah.
You know
like
what
when
I
me
mean?
and
I
Boone
don't
lived
need
in
all
an
that.
apartment together, I watched so many movies because it wasn't. Boone knew what he was doing. I was sitting on the couch and he just put a movie on, and then I'd watch it.
That's
But
what
if-
I do
if-
to McKenna too.
If
That's
Boone would have
exactly
come to me
what I
like,
do.
"You want to watch a movie?" I'd be like, "No," but then he puts a movie on, and I'm like, "Okay, I guess I'll watch a movie."
I gotta play Tony's. And Bowen's the same way. Like, if I asked Bowen, just me and him, hey Bowen, you want to go watch Candyman? He's gonna be like, no, I don't want to do that. Why would I spend money on that? But then you got me, Jack, Macy, Faith, McKenna, and he's like, oh, so that's where the party is. See, Bowen's a party follower. He's like, oh, that's where the party is. I gotta do it now. So Bowen has now watched Candyman. That's
Candyman
how
didn't
you get
bother me
Bowen.
at all, though.
Oh yeah,
can
it
have
wasn't like it wasn't a very scary movie, and that's kind of like a lot of scary movies are that way. Like it's almost obvious the scary movies that are going to be scary or the ones that aren't. And like if there's a slasher involved, like Candyman or like Michael Myers, like they're never going to scare most people because you already know what he's capable of. You know what I mean? Like you already know what he's going to do. He might give you some dread. You might feel a little icky about things, but you're not going to be scared. Like you're not going to go home having nightmares or anything.
Matthew, you look like Johnny Bravo.
I know.
Around here.
The last time I got my hair cut, they like made one side way longer than the other because I go like this with my hair, and they're like, "Oh, you go that way," and I was like, "Yeah." And they like cut this whole side off, and I'm like, "That's not really what I wanted." But too late now. This is what it looks like straight down. Look how much longer it is on this side than it's the other side.
My gosh.
But I'm not paying
it's worse
$20.
now.
I'll just wait. I'll just wait till like it gets longer to go get another haircut. So I'm not going anywhere.
Like nice problems to have.
That can wrap it up. We're playing Xbox.
See what time it is.
Thank you for listening, and we're back.
Yeah.
I could play like 3 rounds. I got a bunch of homework too. So let's get it.
All right.
I'm about to play them in this Halloween mask though.
All right. Don't actually.
We didn't end that very well.
Thanks, guys. See you guys next week. Love you.
We're back.